moved from the physical fight, right? And now everything that's on us is mental pressure, stress. I can't take one more thing. How many of y'all said, if one more thing happens? Because we got a lot of pressure that the enemy is putting on our minds and our thoughts. You get what I mean? That he knows that if he confuses the mind, the body will follow. Right? And George Myers said, where the mind goes, the mind follows. Where the mind goes, the man follows. So if he want to lead us different places, where is he going to start? He's going to start in our mind. Right? Luke 22:31, the enemy, Satan, has asked to sift you as wheat. His tactic is to sift you mentally and emotionally. How many of you now are experiencing mental and emotional stress and pressure? How many got under pressure here? Anybody got some stress and pressure, grades, bills, folks, family, pressure? Because the life has changed from the physical problem to the mental. Now we battle with pressure and stress and worry. We worry a lot. A lot of people just worry a lot. You know, it's just I got a lot of worries, financial worries, job stress, family stress. So we got a lot of stress and worries that we are under pressure of. So he wants to sift our mind and mental capacity so that we don't have the capacity that we used to. Y'all get that? You remember our forefathers and back in the day, our grandmothers and great-grandmothers, they took a lot of stress. They could handle a lot. But now today, these young folks and us, we can't handle too much, right? That's because the mental stress and the mental pressure is wearing our thoughts down that we can't hold the mental capacity that we used to hold. And so that's the enemy's job when he said the enemy Satan has asked to sift you as wheat. The whole thing is y'all make cake from scratch, right? And I got to sift that flour when I make my cake, right? Jeff taught me how to make this good caramel cake, so I have to sift it, right? And so what we doing with the flour? What are we trying to do? We're trying to get it light. And we getting all the lumps out of it, right? So we refine it, we make it small, So that's what the enemy is doing with our mind. I'm going to put your daughter pressure on you. I'm going to put the work pressure. I'm going to put some financial pressure. I'm going to put this stress on you. And then you're like, I can't take no more. This is too much. So that's his enemy's job, is to try and wear us down with a whole lot of little things. And he causes the little things to keep us chipping away at our mental capacity until there's a break. And then we say, if one more thing happens, I can't take it. More Christians are having mental breakdowns now. More Christians are living with depression. More Christians are now committing suicide. Christians are so stressed that they're having heart attack, aneurysm, and strokes, which are the mental stresses coming out in the physical body. Why do we do that? We suffer in silence. Everybody say suffer in silence. Suffer in silence. Because we hold it all in. Jeff can tell you I'm not going to get real personal here. Because we hold it all in. Who can we tell that we got problems and going through marital stress? Who can we tell that to? Physical. Who can we tell that to? Can we go to mom? Can we go to our pastor? Can we go to the worship leader? Can we go to the director? You know why? Because I can't tell you that. Because I'm a deacon. I can't tell you me and my wife are having stress. I can't tell you I'm having stress and I'm the choir leader. So I got to play the role. Good morning, praise the Lord. How you doing? God is good, isn't it? Yes, He is. And then go in our car when we leave church and hold the steering wheel. And what we do? Cry. I think I seen your mouth. She said it me. We go to the car and we just tears fall because we shaking hands, Pastor. We going and say, but do you know how much stress your neighbor is under right now? But I'm gonna play the games. I'm gonna smile at the appropriate times. But us church people, we put on our makeup, we put on our suit, we put on our dress, we put on our smile, and we head out. And we do what we supposed to do. And then come home and nobody know the amount of stress we under. If they just knew. So we suffer in silence, on the praise team, depressed. Singing in the choir, carrying pain. Preaching, discouraged. Playing instruments, under stress. What would they think of me? What would they think of me if I told them how much pressure I was under and how much problems I had? I can't let them know I'm broken. I can't let them know what's going on in my house. I can't let them know that I check in at the lakeside. I can't tell them that. So then who can I turn to? We have no one to turn to because we don't talk about real hurt in our churches. I'm talking about, y'all know that real hurt from the divorce that happened 5 years ago. From the loss of my spouse, my husband, my wife, I'm still carrying it. Because what they tell you when you do talk, get over it. Anybody else told you how to get over it? And you telling them, I wish I could. I wish I could. But this hurt bad. The breakup, even the young folks, the breakup at 15, 16, it hurts bad. So how can I come and tell you that the divorce really hurt me? Who can I tell that the loss of my mom is still weighs on me even today, it was 10, 15 years ago? You didn't know it by now? So we built a people who sing and preach one thing on Sunday, but do another on Monday. I play the role Sunday and I smile at the appropriate time on Sunday, but on Mondays, I got the couple in my head because the pain and it's so heavy. It hurts so bad. Singing and shouting on Sundays, then checking to mental institutes on Monday. That's what they do in Memphis. I work at Lakeside too. Lakeside Hospital. And I can't tell you the amount of pastors and wives check in on Monday morning. I'm telling you the truth. I just can't tell the name, right? But I see them live on Zoom preaching and excited and shouting. But on Monday morning, I have to check in to the hospital. And then I check back out Thursday just in time to make it to the pulpit. Why do I have to do that? Anybody know why? I'll tell you why. Ed Montgomery, 49 years old, pastor full gospel Christian assembly, takes his own life in front of his son. After grieving the death of his wife who died a year earlier from an aneurysm. Isaac Hunter, 36 years old, pastor Summit Church in Orlando, Florida, admits to having an affair that led to his resignation of the church, and while suffering from troubled marriage, ends it all by killing himself. It is estimated that 18 to 25% of all ministers, listen to this, are depressed. 18 to 25% of all ministers are depressed. 25% of ministers who are in family and personal conflict don't know who to turn to. 4% of pastor wives say that the greatest danger to them and their family is physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual burnout. been involved in church all your life. Singing in the choir all your life, pastoring all your life. But deep down, I'm burnt out. But we can't say nothing, right? Because we got to keep doing it. We got to be there every time. We got to do it every time. We got to be there for everybody in the church. But who's there for us? Who's there for us? Teddy Parker, 42 years old, pastor Mount Zion Baptist Church, Macon, Georgia. His church was waiting on him on Sunday morning. After he never showed up, they went back to his house where his wife left him. She found him in the driveway dead by a self-inflicted gunshot wound. It was later revealed that he had been suffering from depression and was on medication. But the deacons didn't know. The church didn't know. All this comes after the fact. That's why I put this in there. I'm just wondering, just go with me for a mind thought. What would it have been like if the pastor can just come and tell the church member, I'm depressed, I'm going through some depression. Could y'all handle that? Oh, look at y'all looking. Could you handle that? What would you say? Yeah, what would you say? Shut up and take the time. Shut up! We did rehearse that, but that's the right answer. Oh, shoot. He didn't know it, but that's the right answer. So you see why? He kept it to himself. And he didn't tell him no tale. E. Dewey Smith. Y'all know E. Dewey Smith? Pastor in Atlanta, House of Hope, commented, I quote, he needed to take a break from ministry, but the way our culture, the culture forbids us to do so. End quote. He was the best friend of E. Dewey Smith, one of the largest churches in the Baptist church in Atlanta. And they interviewed him because it was his friend. E. Dewey Smith said, our culture, and my eyes got locked on the pastor. That's why I said when I wanted to be a therapist, I wanted to start back at the church that I grew up in. Who is our culture? Who is telling us that we can't say that we're hurting? Where do we get this from? Where do we get this mindset that we can't come in the house and say, I'm struggling? Who built this culture? Where did it come from? When did it all change? This is why I'm pleading with the church. This is a new day. People are coming. I had a bishop in Memphis said, Charles, how can we work with you to send people to you? I've been in ministry 50 years, and this is new stuff. He said, I don't know how to deal with rape, molestation. People come in the office with something different. Now, there's a bishop over hundreds of churches. Even I don't even know how to deal with this, Charles, so I want to send them to you. And if we ain't ready and prepared as the next ministry in church, are we ready for what's about to come through them doors? But we ourselves, now I'm talking about ministry now, we ourselves got to make sure I myself is a castaway. Every time I go into a therapy session, Pastor, I go to the bathroom and I pray. Ooh, there was a horrible Lord. That one was a horrible when you got to look at why one last week I came home, Charles, and my husband said, I want a divorce. No warning. What am I going to do, Charles? And I have to sit there and work them through it. But then at time, I have to check myself in and go to the bathroom. Whoa! That was a hard one. Lord have mercy. But I got to go 10, 15 minutes, I got to go next. Because the next one coming in. Help my son. My son son is depressed. Help my daughter. She having problems at school. Y'all know what I'm talking about? So where is this culture? Who created this culture that E. Smith is talking about? Our culture forbids for us to be honest with each other of where our heart and where our feelings and emotions are. So that tells me we need to do what? Create a whole new what? Who? Culture. We have to uproot the old. That I want to make sure that if you have a right and a way to come and talk to me, even these young people, can they feel comfortable to come to you and say, this is what I'm going through, Jeff? Can they pull you out the choir stand and take you over here and sit on this table and say, this is what happened to me at school? Can they? And you not just say, go pray about it. Because I surprised you. She said, I've been praying. What I'm supposed to do with it? I need somebody to talk to you about it. I need somebody to tell me I've been there before. Because I don't want to seem like I'm crazy going through this. But we trying to play Superman and Superwoman with our kids. They don't know we had struggles. So when they have struggles, they feel like they the oddball. I hear so many ladies who have babies that said, Mr. Charles, I'm struggling. But my mama was a single mom, and so I don't want to tell her that it's hard for me. I said, you'll be surprised. Go home and sit down and talk to your mom. It was hard for her. We just didn't see it. My mom was a single mom with 3 kids. My dad walked out. I didn't see her cry not one time. But being a parent now, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. And now it's all making sense to me. She worked 4 jobs. In the school cafeteria, going to beauty school, she wanted to be a beautician, cleaning up, white folks house. They started at 4 o'clock and then she worked at 7-Eleven, from 7 to 11. 7 at night to 11. And it was 3 times she got a shotgun put to her head. But you know what she did the next night? She went back, how many? Because she said, I got 3 kids. And now that I'm therapist, I'm like, what did you do with all that money? You get what I'm saying? But we held it in. Things are different now. The culture, so we have to challenge this whole culture. Suicide is the 3rd leading cause of death among 10-year-olds to 24-year-olds. It's getting younger. I said 10. 10-year-olds. So I want to talk about the young people. It's the 3rd leading cause among 10-year-olds. 90% of those who died by suicide had an underlying mental issue. And half of the mental issue conditions started at the age of 13 years old. So if we want to talk with our young people, we have to start early. The consequences of not addressing adolescent mental health conditions extend to adulthood, impairing both physical and mental health and limiting opportunities to lead fulfilling lives as adults. Where can the young people come? Who can they talk to? I did 20 years in prison before I became a therapist. And them guys who are in there for murder, gangster, Every time they come in my office, they say, "Charles, it was hard growing up in my house. So people judge me now because I'm in a gang or I'm selling drugs. But they never asked me what it was like growing up in my house. And I hear stories like I remember when I was 9 years old seeing my mama using drugs, one that I still remember. I'm looking at my mom in the dark with no lights on, Charles, and I see her in the bathroom at the sink using drugs. And when you got no water, no lights. So in my mind, I'm thinking I got to do something. Who's there to hear those type of testimonies from our young people? This is why I'm challenging churches, because guess what? It starts with us. We got to believe it. Yeah. We are the answer for this world today. And if the church ain't ready, who are they going to go to? We see a world of chaos. Because the church sets the standard for our community. Whatever the church says, that's what we're going to do. So what is the church saying about mental health? This is how important the church is to our culture, to our community. It starts with us. But we got to be ready for what's coming through them doors. I'll get ready to close. 2 Corinthians, Paul says, I don't want you to be ignorant about trouble. What is trouble? I had to do some more. I thought I was preparing for a preacher, so I had to go and study. What is trouble? Trouble, suffering. I don't want you to be ignorant of our suffering on this road. We are called for this. But yet in this call, there's some suffering. Don't tell me y'all ain't feeling. I know y'all said, don't tell me that. Because Paul said, I don't want you to be ignorant. This is the call God has put on my life, and yet there's some suffering with it. I got to try to. And then they want to tell me, I'm good. How you good? Even Paul said, we do not want you to be uninformed, brothers and sisters, about the trouble we experienced in the province of Asia. We were under great pressure. Here I am preaching the word, but yet I'm under great pressure. You can be called to this. See, I'm messing with y'all. You can be called to be a deacon, called to be a choir member, called to be preacher, called to be pastor, but there's some suffering in this thing. And I don't want I want you to be ignorant. I don't want you to think what you get into is going to be all fluffy and dusty, but you're going to have to cry some midnight hours. It was far beyond our ability to endure. The amount of pressure and suffering that it cost us to spread this gospel, it was far beyond what we can endure. So that we despise life itself. Is anybody catching that? I'm reading what Paul said. Y'all believe the Bible, no? Am I in the right church? Paul said the suffering that we experienced was far beyond life itself, that I didn't even want to live. I just thought I'd bring the Bible. Paul said, I want out of here. What is that called today? Suicide. All right, I just want to see. This is the Bible. We were under great pressure far beyond our ability to do so that we despaired life itself. Indeed, we felt we had received the sentence of death. Paul said, because I'm an apostle doesn't mean I don't have problems. In fact, Paul said my suffering was beyond measure, so much that I despaired life itself. Paul said, I want out of here. Now, Paul said, who wrote 13 books, one of the most important he bowed to Jesus in Christianity. He said, this is too much for me. How y'all sitting up here and acting like y'all ain't got no problem? Y'all ain't it ain't for me. And I'm here to unveil the mask on each and every one of y'all. Jeff should have told y'all who you getting into. We got this on game day. I had enough. I can't take no more. I can't take one more break. I call this pressure point living. Jesus is now in, about to be offered up. His time is now come. Y'all remember that? His time is now come. And right before he goes to the cross, he encounters pressure point living. Mark 14-34, my soul is exceedingly sorrowful. And if it be thy will, here's a text. So we don't come to Bible study. If it be thy will,
this cup.
All right, then come on. All right. If it's possible, let this cup pass me. He goes up and he said, hey friends, come on up, my boys. Y'all come on with me. Come on, I got my boys with me, right? Because he knows it's about time to go. And many of you all know what that is. Y'all said it before. You got to go to the doctor for an update. They said they seen a spot on your lung. You got to go to the lawyer. You got to go to the courthouse. And you said, Jeff, what you doing, bro? Come ride with me. Y'all ain't hear that before? Mama, come ride with me to the doctor. Because it ain't nothing like pressure. You just want somebody to what? Huh? Be there. You done prayed. You done went to God. But there's nothing like looking over and having your boys like that. Having your mama, your best girlfriend like that. Come ride with me. I know you don't know nothing about law. You don't know nothing about legal. It's just having you there. So Jesus said, will y'all come with me? Because they don't gotta feel like you feel. Can't nobody feel the pressure like you feel. They don't get it. Because if you're not careful, they'll fall asleep on you. So he goes over here, and my boys are asleep. Okay. Then he goes to the Father. If it be your will, take this from me. He ain't hearing nothing over here. You go back. When y'all wake up, they're like, he going back. Father, if it be your will, take this pressure. They ain't hearing nothing over there. This is what I call when we struggle. We trying to get loose, trying to get this pressure off me. I'm trying to find somebody else somewhere. Some people go to drugs, some people go to marijuana, some people go to pornography, some people go to, I'm just trying to go to the casino. I know my mom did. My mom died suddenly. We was at church just like this, and she cooked like this every Sunday. This is how I want to cook. Jeff can teach me. And that Sunday night, after having a big spread like this, she just died. My mom couldn't take it. And she tells me today she used the casino because she'll drive down there and she'll stay 9 hours. We'll be looking for her. Where is she? She's in her own world now. Because it's taking her away from what's going on here. We all lose our things like Jesus. We're trying to find some way to deal with the pain. But it wouldn't be so easy if I could just sit down and say, this is the hurt. But we try to find other things to solve it rather than find the person that's sleeping next to us. Don't you understand? And if Jesus is trying to find some way out of this pressure, how you gonna say, hey, I'm good? No. And he kept going back. But the third time, he told his boys, sleep on. And there's some people in your life that you depended on, that y'all can tell what. Some of the boys, girls that y'all dealing with ain't there for you. Tell them to what? Some of them women, you can't be that for me the way I want to. And so Jesus said, sleep on. And then he went to the Father and said, nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done. And that is where you come to the point, what we call in therapy, acceptance. I accept that this is the way I got to go. I had to go through the divorce. I had to go through the hurt. I had to go through the pain. He had to leave. She had to leave. It had to happen like that. And then Jesus said, just hey, here I am. And then you stop wrestling back and forth. Stop going back and forth to what's not working. And you sit there and you just say, oh. And you just weep. It hurts. And that's what I want us to realize. Mental health is real. Pain is real. Hurt is real. And as a church, this is where the rubber hit the road. It ain't about judging. It ain't about, we want to make even the young people and even the older people feel, you can come to me. Can I come to you? This is just something for you to think. The person at the table sitting with you right now, can I come to you and tell you how much depression, how much pain, and how much hurt I have? And if your answer is no, then that's saying we need to recalibrate. We need to revisit, recalibrate, redo. Because I want to be here for my brothers and sisters. I want you to be able to come to me and tell me I'm hurt. And we're going to talk about it, we're going to cry. And a lot of times, I don't know what to say. I tell people that's going through grief and all, we like to drive over there and give them all the scriptures. And you get on their nerve. Because I know he's gone to a better place. I know this is God's will. You ain't saying nothing about the wholeness in my heart right now. And so a lot of times you just have to go in there and say, I'm sitting with you. I don't know what to say. And every time you cry, I'm sitting right here with you. I ain't said a word. Just to know that I ain't by myself. Any questions? What y'all think? Y'all got questions for me? Comments? She said, Judge, why did you bring him on this? I am very intent. I'm like this when I'm preaching. I'm like this with therapy. I'm intense because I realize the call on my life. And I know I understand my mission. My mission is to awaken us. We've been asleep too long. And if we're going to expect the church to come into them doors, we have to be ready emotionally. We got the spiritual down pat. Y'all can beat me for the scriptures. But can I use that scripture and sit with you in your hurt and in your pain? That's the challenge. Any questions? Thank y'all for having me.